In the previous module, we have published our web API on Microsoft Azure. And now in this module, we're going to test our web API via Swagger UI. So I hope you have published your web API. If not, then please watch the previous episodes of this course. And if you feel any issue regarding API deployment, then feel free to ask questions on the QA board. Alright, now let's come to the point. Whenever you publish the web API on Microsoft Azure, then you will see that kind of UI with some ASP dotted messages. All you need to do is just write Swagger along with this URL and hit enter. And here we go. You will see this Swagger UI for API documentation. Now with this Swagger UI, we can test our API without going into the Postman or some other tools for API testing. Right now we have two sections for API, the API category and the API code. Now let me go to the category section. And inside this, we have this post, get, put and delete requests. We are interested to use the get and the post request of this category. If we call this get endpoint, then we will get nothing because there is no data present inside our Azure SQL database. So we need to add some data inside our SQL database, and in order to add the data, we need to perform the post request. So let's go to this post request, and there just click this section and it will automatically load the sample JSON data into that area. Now here we have different values like category ID, which is of course the primary key, and it's auto incremented, and we don't need this, so let's remove this. Now we have different fields for title and color code. Alright, in the title we will add the category title for code, and in the color we will add some hex color code. Let me add the category title and the color code. So in the category, let's add action, and in the color code, let's add the following color code. You can find these color codes from Google. Now, when I send the request, then we will get the status code 201, which means that our record has been created. Similarly, let's add another category and pass the category title, that is beauty. And now, here in the color code, let's add the following hex color code. Alright, now let's send the request, and here we go. Our record has been created successfully. Alright, now let me go to this get endpoint. Well, when we have sent the request, then we have got these empty square brackets, which means that there is no record found. And now we have added two records, and it means if I send the request, then we will get the data. So let me send the request, and here we go. We have got the JSON data. Now you can pass the category title and the color code here by using post request. I'm going to pause this video because I'm going to enter few records here. Alright, now if I send the get request, then we have enough records. Now let's jump to the codes section, and there we have different endpoints, but we are interested to work with the get endpoint and the post endpoint. So if I send the get request, then we got nothing because there is no data inside our database for this codes endpoint. So let me go to the post request, and there I'm going to add the data. So let's click this section, and it will load the sample JSON data here. And now we don't need this ID because this will be automatically generated inside our database. Then we need to enter the record for code. Here we have different fields like code title, description, author, category name, and created at date property. So let me add some data here for code title, description, author, created at date property, and this category name. Alright, now let's send the post request, and here we go. Status code is now 201, which means that our record has been added successfully. Now let's add another record in the same category. Here we go. Let's go to the GET request, and here we need to pass the category name. So let's pass this action category here, and if I send the request, then it will load all the codes that belongs to the action category. Now let me add another code in the beauty category. You can find the codes from the Google. Alright, here I have added some details for this code. Now let's send the request, and our record has been added. Alright, let's go to the GET request, and there if I send the GET request with this action category, then we will only get the codes that belongs to the action category. And now in order to get the codes against this beauty category, we need to pass the beauty category name in this field. And now if we send the GET request, then this time we will only get the code that belongs to the beauty category. I'm going to pause this video because I need to write few codes. I have attached these codes along with this video so that you can download and add the record. So far we have tested our web API via Swagger UI. And now from the next section, we're going to start working with our Zamin Forms application. Alright, I will see you in the next section.